Welcome back to Business Players Live. Woo! Today I have an amazing speaker, okay? An amazing guest that he's gonna be sharing with us his insane and cool story about how he switched careers and bunch of stuff. And now he's got his own business, he's thriving, and a really cool guy. We're just meeting actually. We're part of the same community, the 10x community, and I invited Brandon. That's his name. I'll present him real quick. Okay. So Brandon, he is from a small town called, it's a steel town too. It's important to say that in Ohio Valley, called Martins Ferry, very small town. He's gonna let us know how many people live there, and he knew what he was gonna do with his life apparently, and then he graduated, and then he went through. He was looking at some infomercial, and it changed his life. He was gonna tell us more about that in a second when I let him speak. And he started a career in sales and marketing, and now he's a business owner. Okay, probably like you and I. And now what he does is he helps small businesses, local small businesses like ours, right, to grow online with marketing. So this guy, he's helped many businesses, and he's gonna tell us more about that. He's gonna tell us how he could help us if you guys ever want to do business with him. And he's a really cool guy. He's got a beautiful family, 2 kids and a wife. But without further ado, Brandon Garcia. Woo! Welcome, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Jose, I appreciate this opportunity here, and thanks for the introduction.
Of course, man. Yeah, I invited Brandon because I saw him, and a lot of people will relate, and a lot of people need the information that Brandon has, because he does marketing for small businesses, local businesses. Probably a lot of the people that watch us, Brandon, they're in that position of you being able to help them and give them some information. And by the way, guys, the TV didn't want to run, but we're still here, and you probably can't see it, but that's obviously you got Brandon for real here, but this is the picture as usual. But next, hopefully the next time is gonna work. But anyways, so how are you doing, Brandon? Tell me, how's it going?
I'm doing well. It's been a heck of a couple years since I got up and running. And you kind of mentioned in the intro there that I was doing a couple different things and trying to 10x the life there, and it took a drastic event to finally kick me in the butt and realize that I gotta do something. Like, something has to be done. I can't keep spinning the wheels and having nothing happen. So yes, I grew up in a small town, small steel town in the High Valley. Population 5,000. Everybody knew everybody. Everybody went to the same school after they graduated high school, except for me. I was kind of the the oddball duck. Everybody went south, and I went north. Graduated from Kent State University. Great school. Got a degree in chemistry. And so probably thinking, wow, guy has a degree in chemistry, yet he's running a sales and marketing business. What happens there? Well, it wasn't until I'm doing the same chemistry test for the 100th time, thinking this isn't fun. I spent $60,000. I spent $60,000 on a degree.
Wow.
And I am testing salt water, that any high schooler could do if you show it to them how to do it. In fact, nothing against people I was working next to on the bench, but they trained people that were filling the bags to run the same tests, and they had maybe associate's degrees. So, and we're getting paid the same amount of money. So it was
Right.
like, wow, this isn't good. So I work night shift. You get home and there's nothing on after you get home, because it's like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. So it's either news or infomercials. And so I caught an infomercial talking about trading either you're punching a time clock for dollars, or you are providing a service, either consulting or sales service for dollars, and you're earning a commission.
Mm-hmm.
And I was hooked from there. So I realized I needed to get out of punching a time clock and learn how to sell something if I really want to make an impact on myself and my life, and eventually family. So asked the company I worked for if I could move to sales. They said no, I have no experience. So I quit. That was the first time that I quit like a major kind of secure type corporate job. Had 401k, had all the perks, right? Health insurance, 401k, all that kind of stuff. So I quit. Ended up moving to Florida, bounced around a little bit, and finally I was like, before I get into sales, I got to sell something, right? Just to get that experience. So I started selling cars. My uncle was in the car business for years, and he had a nice big house and all that kind of stuff. So I was like, well, that's kind of what I want. So
why not? Oh, you're doing great. Why not me?
yeah, right. So started selling cars to that for about 6 years, and then pivoted and then pivoted into the insurance game because I realized that insurance is pretty high ticket as well. You're recurring commissions and all that kind of good stuff. So I ended up getting into group healthcare with the hopes of one day opening an agency, and still on that path to do that. After about 10 years down in Florida, wife was like, let's move back home to Ohio. And I was super nervous to do that because I was already set, foundation, roots were set. We're down there 10 years, right? Had a good network set up. And so moved up to Ohio, and everything started to slowly crumble around me from doing that. I ended up losing my my job that I had with a broker group in the health insurance. Had to sell cancer insurance, which was fun for a minute.
Sorry,
that really got my sales chops.
It cut out a little bit.
What do you say? I had to sell cancer insurance door to door.
Okay.
And it was super. Sales process was great. It really got my chops as far as like selling, because I'm belly sitting in these people's health for about 6 months to get my feet underneath me, and then just like, you know what, I got to go back to basics, go sell cars again. Because the auto industry is a great place to kind of get into and build a network out, and then figure out what I needed to do from there. So luckily I got on board with a Ford dealership because I sold Fords right before the pandemic hit. Well, I mean, we were already in the pandemic, but right before like all the shutdowns and anything like that happened. So so I got in selling cars, great. Before then, I ran into Grant Cardone, went to the 10X Growth Conference, things like that. Was doing this heavy duty sales training, and all of it was helping, especially when it was either selling the insurance or selling the cars. Using those methods and techniques, I was the highest grossing per copy sales guy on the floor at the dealership. The problem was I was new and didn't have that big of a sales base. So you have that along with, pandemic, lack of inventory. It wasn't a great environment for me to be in. So I figured out how to get traffic to myself. So I found a book, literally the book on traffic called Traffic Secrets by Russell Brunson. Read it in about less than a week, because really couldn't put it down. And as I was reading it / listening to it and going through it, I was like getting so mad. Mad for the fact of how simple the concepts were. The difficulty was just the execution. Yeah. So after putting it all together and realizing it's like I'm hacking all these businesses, seeing how they're driving traffic in themselves, things like that. I was like, I need to help all the local businesses in my area do this, because being new, I'm searching for things that are around the house and services that need to be done, et cetera, and I can't find anything that's out there. And so that's when I kind of realized, like, hey, there needs to be a service in my area that actually markets for businesses, not just put up a website and hope things happen and things like that. No, like the systems and processes in place that when somebody needs something, that business shows up right when they need it. And that's how BKXX Enterprises was founded, and BKXX Marketing is the forefront of that.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful. It's such a switch, man. You just, you were doing one thing and you're like, you know what, it's not, but I mean, you're smart enough to be able to pivot and be like, man, and it seems like you really enjoy and like sales and marketing. So I'm happy that you did the switch. And I do the same too. We do the same too. And it's like you said, it's not just a website and then pray it's gonna work. We make websites, but I tell them it's the website, like everything in business, is just one little thing that is part of a system that if you don't have in place, it's not gonna do anything for you. So no, that's excellent, man. I'm happy that you took that chance and did it. Now, tell us, like, to you, and then to your clients. I'll ask you after how what you've seen when doing these things, but how important are sales and marketing for you in your life and the business and everything?
I mean, life is all about selling. I know that's
Right.
kind of a tough thing to hear, but I mean, you're always selling yourself on something. Whether you're trying to convince your friend that you want to go see this movie versus that movie, or you're trying to convince your girlfriend that you want to go eat at Outback, and she wants to go eat at Applebee's, whatever.
Hmm.
It's all about that persuasion and getting what you want in the most ethical way possible.
Right.
So it's super important.
And when you're talking about sales, so what about marketing? So how important is marketing now in your life and in your business?
Well, I mean, it's super important in the sense that always be promoting. It's like always be close on the marketing side. It's always be promoting people,
Right. Right.
who you do, and how you can help them, but usually how you can help them first and foremost,
Yeah. Exactly.
as opposed to who you are and what you can do. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. I'm with you, man. And tell us, man. So you get this client, and what happens? Like, what they usually don't understand the importance of marketing, I guess, because that's how
Mhm.
how it goes with us too. They probably don't understand the importance of marketing. Like, first, how do you make them understand, right? Because how do you crack that wall of, hey, no, we haven't had marketing in forever, so I don't think we need
Mhm.
it. How do you go, over that objection and actually get them to understand that how important it is, and then help them, because that's a big thing that I go through every day, and that I guess many of the people that are going to be watching us, they have that barrier as a business owner, that they're not
Mhm.
they're scared about doing marketing, right? And the people that could be doing the same things that we do and are watching, and they would like to know, like, yeah, how do I crack that Da Vinci code?
Yeah.
Brandon, tell me the secret.
It's super tough. If I knew that exact answer on how to crack the code, I would be sitting in a little bit different spot and have a little bit different background behind me right now. But no, I'm on my way to it. And what it
Of
comes
course.
down to is just it's education. I'm in a very rural area right now in the middle of Ohio, bumping up to one of the largest growing tech cities in the nation of Columbus. But in the area that I'm in, there's more small towns than there are big cities. So there's more small town businesses out there that just have not jumped on the digital bandwagon yet. And it's 2022, but there are still businesses out there that don't even have a website.
Yeah.
And it's been my mission just to try to get them set up with a Google business page, and I do that for free to set them up and get them verified.
Hmm.
So that has been the biggest challenge, just part of the education of the digital space and how how it's going to be beneficial. Because I mean, Google is the number one visited website in the entire world. Everybody goes to
Right.
Google, and if they can't find you, they can't contract with you. They can't use your services. Basically, just like Grant says, if they don't know you, they can't flow you. And
Right.
if Google doesn't know you, it can't flow customers to you. If Bing doesn't know you, it can't flow customers to you.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a little bit more technical than that once you get down to the nitty gritty. But I mean, that is the absolute basics of being able to be found online is letting Google and Bing know that you're there.
Yeah, and so there's a fact number that says that 81% of companies that get a website, they grow 91%. So, but that's because they were non-existent, right? So they were
Mm-hmm.
nowhere to be found, and now they are. And some people, start finding them for free. Like, that's even, I mean, depending on if you want someone to do it, but you can do it yourself and stuff like that. And people do that too. If you don't have time, you can hire, of course, Brandon, someone that knows, because it's not just putting it out there. There's tricks. There's SEO, so many things that are involved in it if you want to do it right, and it does make a big difference. But tell us, like, in your experience, Brandon, what happens when these small businesses nowhere to be found? They're like, you know what, let's do it, and then they get into it, and you put them online for the first time, and what happens to their business?
Okay. Well, great story that I have happened beginning this year. I will,
Mhm.
say this business unfortunately fell into the statistics of not really lasting a year due to some internal issues, but they
I see.
came to me at the end of 2021. So December 2021, I actually got a phone call organically. I was like super shocked, right? Because, I'd
Yeah.
been online for a couple months and finally got my first organic deal coming in. Um, and yeah, they called me up, said they need services. They're starting up an automobile repair garage here locally. Little 2 bay deal, yada yada yada. I was like, all right, so they needed to build really from the ground up. They needed a site, they need GMB, they were planning on doing some direct mail postcard deal. I was like,
Hmm.
cool, no problem. Here's what's going to cost. So they signed the contract. Got them. Took 2 weeks to get them on Google verified, just based on the mailings
Brandon, it's cutting out. Can
and all
you
that kind of stuff
can you repeat
that
that? You
had to
said,
happen at the time
can you
because they
repeat
had
it
no
again,
presence
Brandon?
at all. Between February and March, calls. One direct mail piece, and they end up doubling their calls from Google
Got it.
between February.
I see.
So
So
that
you
was just from
mixed.
one direct mail piece. And I was doing my best to, push them and to keep throwing fuel on the fire since they were getting leads in. But unfortunately, the internal running of the business was not good. So um, yes, unfortunately, they had to shut down. So there's a nugget for you. If your
So, but
internal processes aren't good, it doesn't matter how well the marketing is and how many calls you're getting in. It's it's not going to be good for the business at all. So
of course, yeah, yeah, yeah. And so, Brandon, what you did is you did a mix there of direct mail pieces along with all the
mhm.
other stuff that you did for them with the SEO, right? With Google My Business. What else do you do for them there on that
I
specific
built I
business?
built them a sales funnel, a simple 3-page site. Main thing
Cool.
was just kind of let people know who they are, what they do,
Hmm.
offer them a coupon if they signed up for the email list, to then have follow up reminders to come back in for service, oil changes, tire rotations, and things like that. I
Hmm.
think I ended up getting about I think 20 to 25 people on their list in the two
Nice.
months that were they were open, 3 months that they were open, which isn't a bad deal to have. So I mean, lifetime value of the customer there's a couple grand um, times 25. So you're looking at what, $50,000 in revenue from just 2 months worth of work, just by building your email list out. So
Right.
kind of keep that in the back of your mind, is that the money is always going to be in your list, and you got to figure out a way to get them on it.
Yeah. Listen, guys, the money's in the list. That's right. That's right. That once they're in the list, you can call them and you can make more money and follow up with them and all this stuff. But if you don't have anyone's number, you know. What can you do? It's tough. I mean, of course you got to start, right? But like it's
Yeah.
difficult.
And that was one of the internal processes that actually killed the business. I was doing my best to try to get them at least signed up online with the site and things like that. But once people came in that maybe just came in organically or found through Google that didn't go through the site, so to speak, they
Hmm.
weren't writing down names, addresses, and emails. And when I
Yeah.
went in to actually add the people to their email list, because once they give you the email either on piece of paper or online, I mean, you're allowed to email them. Um, I was I was floored. I was like, you've been in business, 2-3 months, and you should have at least 100 people on your list that you can either call back or send mail to. That is going to save you money from having to buy lists, and they didn't do that. And so, I mean, that was just one of the
Right. No,
downfalls there.
and these leads, man, that you buy on lists and stuff, they usually, they suck. They're like you're the 100th guy that has it. Like it's terrible. But
Hmm.
you help them grow their own list, get their own clients from nothing, and that's big, man. That's great. And so tell us more about everything that you do, man. Tell us about. I know what you do, but tell the people here. And this is not just about Brandon's business. We want to help you, but some people they need the help. If you need the help and you like Brandon, please reach him out. His stuff is in the description of this video, and he can help you in a lot of good stuff in marketing. So tell us about what you do, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So, um, I like to kind of classify, I guess, myself as technical marketing, making sure the systems are that again when somebody's looking for you, they find you when they need you. So, um, bottom end of the value ladder is um, your
It cut out, Brandon. Can you say that again?
business listing. I'm sure that's correct, proper, and distribute to all of the listing channels. That includes Google. Do the Google Business distributed out to listings like your yellow pages and things like that. Yes, that's still a thing. Um, and then with Google Business Profiles, make sure that's set up and verified and
Mm-hmm.
optimized so that Google likes you and shows you when people are looking for you. And then once that's set up, then we move up to reputation management. So you're starting to get some leads and customers in, and we just simply ask them for reviews and respond to the reviews. From your past, should you be in business, a while. While that's done, then we work on the technical SEO. So that is,
Right.
making sure all your website is set up properly. We do some content on and off site. We get you the links needed to start ranking in the search results there. And then lastly, once that is all set up, done, running smoothly, we work on paid advertising because I don't believe in spending any money on advertising until everything else is set up. Simply
Got it.
because
Me too. You're right.
nobody buys on the first impression. Nobody buys on the first click. Very few. I shouldn't say nobody. Very few.
2%. That's
Um,
what Brand says. Yeah.
so what they do is they may see the impression, they may see the ad, but then they're going to go to Google and look you up.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Yeah.
going to do the research on you before they make the decision. They'll see if you're accredited by BBB, which it's a thing, not something that I push, but they'll look for those business listings out there to see where you're listed, what people are saying about you. They'll check out the content on the website to see if you can actually help, and things like that. So not until that's all said and done, because once they see your ad, go to your site, you can then retarget them, right? So that's where the money is going to be in the retargeting, and that's what we help set up. And that's the top of the value ladder there.
Okay, so you implement paid marketing once everything's set up, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
what you do, yeah, what you do once everything's set up is then you use retargeting to use like the momentum of the same free leads right? I mean, there's a lot of work involved, of course, but like these leads that came organically, now you are leveraging the power of the paid ads to keep, stay in their world, in their universe, right?
Yep.
With retargeting. Got it. Beautiful, man.
Yeah, because
That's awesome.
retargeting ads are going to be your least expensive ads. Cold ads are going to be the most expensive. If you want to
Mhm.
go in head first with cold ads, just be ready to have a little bit of pain. It's like working out at first. The muscles aren't there. They're not built up yet, and it's going to cost you some money up front to capture that client. And that's why most people quit, because it's too painful in the beginning. But if you can get through that first bit of pain, then you'll be all set.
Yeah. And who would you recommend that strategy to? Everyone, right?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter the business, whether you're, I mean, I focus on the home service businesses, your roofers, plumbers, electricians, etc. But it really doesn't matter the business.
Yeah.
The foundations and the fundamentals are all the same. It's all about knowing who your ideal customer is, what their problem is, and how you plan on solving the problem.
Beautiful. Beautiful, man. Dude, tell us, like, where do you see Brandon, you, right, going next? What do you see what is the next big thing you're gonna do in your business? Or we want to
Next
pick
big
your mind and brain.
Yeah. So next big thing. I mean, I would love to build a franchise out, get a couple of different locations, and then just be able to step back and enjoy life, and have
Mhm.
that recurring revenue coming in. So,
Beautiful.
I'd probably see that happening in maybe the next 5 to 7 years. It's on the board to have done, but right now it's head down growth mode. Get as many clients as I can in, and then have the funds necessary to then replicate and multiply myself.
Beautiful. And you're obviously doing all the stuff that you're telling us, and that's how you promote your business, right?
Yeah. So everything that I'm doing for myself, I'm doing for my clients. I would not sell or provide a service to
Mhm.
my clients that I one would not either buy for myself or do myself.
Cool, man. That's great. And do tell, like, so most of the audience, I think I already told you, but most of the audience here, my friend, they're new business owners, or they're thinking about starting a business, or they're already there and maybe being, for years, but they're not in the digital world and they don't know a lot about, things and stuff, and they're scared, like things are changing massively every single day in the world and in business, of course. So tell my friends here, like, what would you do if you had to start all over again? What would you do differently this time to achieve, success? What would you do this time if you were to start again?
If I were to start again, I would start selling first. And what do I mean by that? So I kind of
Hmm.
I kind of started spending money before I had it, and that's a big no no. In the sense
Wow.
that I mean, I was using my own personal funds, right, um, to kind of run everything that I sold cars from, right,
Hmm.
the extras I throw into the business. But I would start selling before I buy anything. So I mean, I bought my site, I um, bought the platform and the software needed to help the business people out, things like that. But to do it the smart way is start telling people first that you have this business,
Hmm.
build out your offer, sell your offer first. Once you collect the cash,
Yeah.
then you start implementing.
Hmm.
Don't start implementing anything, even for yourself, until you have money that you made from your first sale.
Got it.
So don't buy that website just yet. Don't. Um, you need
Let's
one.
start.
You need one,
Yeah.
but don't buy one until you make that first sale for the services. If anybody asks if you have a website to check or more information out, say, you know what, it's currently being built, it's in process, yada yada yada. Don't lie, but just say it's in process right now. Nothing really to show you, but here's the services. Make sure you have a nice flyer, nice rate sheet, rate card, or whatever to take for your presentations. But don't don't spend any money until you make that first sale.
Of course. Yeah. Man, I think we're all guilty of that. Like you're not alone. Everybody gets excited. We have credit cards, and at
Yep.
least you're spending it now. If you use a credit card, at least you're spending it, you're investing it in your business, but
Yeah.
you still haven't made a dime. Like you're at zero, and you're spending money, and you don't you might be, you do need these things. Obviously you do need a nice website, all these things to get out, make people feel and trust you more, feel better and
Yeah.
trust you more. It's super important, of course, but if you don't have any money, you're starting from scratch, you should do what Brandon said, like, be careful with the money. And once, if you're making money, great, keep investing in it. And I would add that to what he's saying also, that it's something that I didn't do because I was kind of comfortable already with sales and stuff, but it could have been a little different if I had done that. Is, don't quit your job necessarily before you feel good about your business. Now, if you feel good about your business already and you haven't quit your job, quit your job. And if you have a business and that's what you want to do, right? Like, I'm not saying quit your job just because you have a business. If you like your job and you have a business, great. But if you hate your job and your business is doing okay, I would quit my job and just go all in with my business. That's what I would do. But what I would do differently in my case, I know nobody's asking me, but I'm saying it is, be careful. And you make sure you learn sales first. That's the only reason why I'm still here, is because I did know sales. Okay, I did learn sales with Grant Cardone, like Brandon did, and all these things. And I study a lot. Like, if you are gonna get into business, and Brandon can sure affirm this, you guys have to learn a lot and clamp it down too, and go all in. And it's not gonna be easy. It's not gonna be an easy ride. If whoever is watching this right now and haven't started, don't be scared. Just do it. But you don't necessarily have to quit your job and then start. You can stay in your job, get those first sales, because this is how I see it, like, business wise. Brandon, you tell me if you think the same. I think you start your business, and it's like you have a newborn baby, right? If you have a newborn baby, you can't, like, make the baby do like a lot more than what, like, he's a baby, right? You can exploit the baby, take money from the baby is just barely born, right? So imagine a baby, and then you're like, he's got his candy, he's enjoying the candy, and you take the candy, he's gonna cry. That's kind of like how I see what happens
Yeah.
with, you start a business, you take money from the business. The business is a brand new business, newborn baby, and you are taking from it. It's hard. It's hard because you have to reinvest that money. Whatever money comes from the business, you should be reinvesting. And if you don't have a job, it's hard unless you're really, really good at sales. And that's kind of what saved me. But it's been a really hard ride. Of course, I've been surviving, and it's been great in growing my company. Last year we were 4 people, now we're 15 people. But it's all because I knew sales. I would first learn sales, like Brandon is telling us too. Uh, get some marketing in and invest some money in your business. See what happens, right? Before you go all in, and then it works. You go all in. And this is not just my advice. People that make $40 million, like Aaron Cordobes, he's been in my events. He makes $40 million a year with his Amazon, and he sells kitchen supplies and stuff. And he is at $40 million, and that's what he did. He didn't quit his job until he was like at 100K. So if you're at your job and you're like, should I quit? If you hate it, and your business is gonna survive if you start taking money from it right now, I would do it. Of course I would do it. If you hate your job, like, at the end of the day, we're doing this for freedom, right? So why would you stay at a job you hate if you can just be free with your business and do what you want. And that was one of my dreams too. But what do you think about that, Brandon? Like, you like that advice, or you would do
Yeah,
something
that's great advice. I like to compare it to building a fire. The newborn baby, you're trying to build a fire. You got to start with that first spark and throw that kindling on it. And then once you do that, I mean, you can't just then throw a big log on it. You still have to kind of feed it, get sticks on it, and then you can, once that fire's going, then you can start throwing the bigger pieces of wood on there to keep it going. Yeah, so just got to start small and build and and throw as many little sticks on there as quickly as you can to get that fire going.
Dude, you just said something really, really important, really big, that it's start small, but go quickly, like do things quickly. Because thing is, like, some people advise, and I think this is like not misguidance of these people that really know about business, but some people say start small, and stuff like that. But I think they say start small and work hard, like not like start
Yeah,
small and then just relax and do one thing one day and then another. No, like it's like start small, right? Because you're learning, and if you're learning, you gotta invest money in yourself first, right? Like read books, do courses. Like I've invested like 40 grand or something so far in my business education only, and I have a business coach too. And I keep doing these courses. Like it's not like, oh, I only invested 40 grand, it's done. It's like people get out of school and they stop studying. They think that's enough. Like you have to continue your education, and that's in everything, in business and your career, whatever. But I think people see it like, oh, I'm gonna start small, and that's it. Like, no, you have to start small, but like he said, you start putting the more needles, right? Like you start doing more and more and more and more, and grow and invest. You have to invest. Don't be scared about investing in your business. Like, uh, when I started, we were doing like 15,000 a month. That was just by myself. And last month we did 60K a month. So, but we now have 15 people, and I can do these interviews with Brandon and these business players and bring you guys this content, because I now have more time to do it from the business. And now the business doesn't run completely by itself without me yet. Completely it doesn't. But the input that they need, because I already left those processes in, and and good people in charge, they just work, and they do need me sometimes, but it's got to be something advanced, that's happening, or an urgency or something. But they run without me, thanks God. And it's all because I invested, right? I put more people at work. I got more clients because of marketing, right? So you got to invest in your marketing. If you don't exist, you're not going to get clients, and you're going to have to hustle forever. Because it's okay if you hustle a lot at the beginning, but if you make some money and you don't reinvest the money, that's why you're not going to grow. And you're always going to hustle and all this thing, and you're not working smarter, you're just working hard. And hard is not enough in business. Like, you got to be smart, you got to learn. So I would recommend now that's the next question, Brandon. What books, you already said traffic secrets, but what books do you recommend to our friends here?
So
Best three
again,
books.
the best three books. So Traffic Secrets is what got it started for me. .com Secrets, and then Expert Secrets. It's called the Secrets Trilogy. Has everything and anything to do with the digital side of marketing your business. .com goes over sales funnels, and Expert goes over how to speak and sell, so to speak to sell to your ideal client.
Got it.
Adding more to that for the self-development side, 10X Rule, #1 book. Think and Grow Rich is the classic, where a lot of the self-development comes from. And then a religious text of some kind. I mean, whatever religion you are, dive into it, because it all stems from the same deal. So those are my six top books.
Got it, dude. Yeah, that's great. That's what we do here, man, and that's what 10x is about. Is giving more, a lot more than what you get, and that's awesome, man. Now the last question, dude. We ask this question to everyone, and it's, if what are the three things that you would tell a brand new business owner, or a business, or a guy that wants to start a business. What are the best three tips that you would give them? What are the things that you would tell them to do, or that are the most important to do?
Three most important things to do when starting your business.
Mhm.
There's a lot. It's kind of hard to
Yeah.
narrow it down to three. Um,
Yes, I understand. Well,
networking would be the number one
mhm,
thing that I would say. As Grant says, the only thing different between a contact and a contract is an R, and that R is the relationship. So network as much as possible up
mhm,
front. Two, publish every day. Um, whether it's a social media post, a video, a blog, something. Publish a piece of content every day. And number three would be keep studying, keep investing in yourself. Read as many books as you possibly can. If you don't like to read, listen to them. Me, I'm more of a listener um, than a reader.
mhm.
I've kind of developed into that because I like to multitask more. But whether you're listening to the book on tape or you're reading the book or doing both together, because that's doubling the input there, reading and listening to it. You can get through a book in 2 hours. Or you can watch a 2 hour movie on Netflix. I think you get a lot better, a lot more things out of life listening to a book in 2 hours than you would watching a Netflix show for 2 hours.
Dude, I love it. I throw a lot of shit to Netflix here all the time, because because that's the example that I guess everybody uses, because we all, and I mean, I'm not saying I don't watch Netflix sometimes. Like, of course, I have a wife, and sometimes we watch Netflix, but like Brandon said, if you're struggling with your business, don't watch Netflix. Watch these videos. I mean, there's a bunch of videos here, by the way, that you can watch and learn how to do some stuff in your business, and go to Brandon's stuff and learn from him too. Follow him, of course, on all of his stuff is going to be in the description below. If you want to hire Brandon, the number is there, his phone number of his business. Okay. And you can also hit him up, like you just saw. He's a great guy. So if you need some help and you don't have any money, I'm sure he's probably gonna help you. And of course, once you make some money, give him a hand. Of course, like that's what you should do. One thing about business is that if you want your business to grow, you have to give, so you get. The more I give, and that's why I do this type of interviews. Some of you guys will get value from this, and you'll be like, wow, Jose, he gave me value when I needed it. I didn't know these things, and Brandon too. And now I'm doing better, and now then you probably will do business with us because you appreciate us. And if not, imagine, like, I remember when I started, and I'm sure Brandon can relate to this. Guys, I didn't even have the $100 to pay for Cardone University. So what I started doing was watching Grant Cardone's videos. So imagine if these dudes didn't do that for us, if we didn't do this for you guys, and it's a chain, right? Like, they did it for us, we do it for you guys, and so on. And of course, you can go and watch their stuff. Um, what I like about what we do here, and the reason why I still do it, even though, like, because everyone can say, oh, you can go and watch Grant Cardone, of course. But the cool thing is, like, we are not Grant Cardone, and we are doing good stuff, and we are not quitting, because most people, they're like, oh, that's Grant Cardone doing that stuff. He can do anything. Maybe, but Grant Cardone was a drug addict. He was fucked up. He didn't have the great life he's got now. He didn't have a jet, or any of these things. And I didn't have 14 employees. I'm counting myself in the deal. 14 employees before, had no help, no 60K, whatever, which is still not easy, right? Like, the business, it's all of that stuff. Like, it's like I don't know. It's like this thing on the on the sink. You know, you just turn it on, and it's like that's how the business works. But eventually, you know, it's gonna take a while, but eventually you're not gonna have to be there all the time if you do things right, and it's super worth it. It's super worth it. And but you know, we all start somewhere. We all start somewhere, and that's why this show, it's still here, and it's gonna be here hopefully forever, because you guys relate to us. We're still hustling. You know, we're not that far from where you are probably are right now. And our advice, you know, is very applicable at your position, you know. And we don't have a jet, so you're like, yeah, Jose doesn't have a jet, so probably I can do what Jose does, you know. So, but anyways, guys, I want to say, please say thank you in the comments to Brandon for being here and sharing with us his amazing knowledge. If you need some of his services, hit him up. He's an amazing dude. He's still gonna help you even if you don't have any money. We were there, you know. We started as well, and we had no money, and a lot of like nobody wanted to help us, and we didn't have connections either. I mean, in my case, maybe Brendan had some connections. I had no connections. Okay, I'm a Venezuelan immigrant. I came here to this country, and I knew nobody, so I had to do, you know, whatever it took to meet people. I mean, listen to what Brandon said. First thing, network a lot. You got to network, then publish every day, because if you're networking and they don't see you around, like what's going to happen? Nothing, right? And then keep investing in yourself, because what ultimately you'll be selling and saying to these people, it's got to be something good, because if not, they're not going to do business with you. And the only way that you do and say good stuff is with this first, not just working. You don't want just to run out of experience. You want to run out of the experience of other people. It's like using other people's money. You're using other people's time, and you know what's more important than valuable than money? Time, right? So thank you, Brandon. God bless you, dude. Thank you for being here. We had a great time. Again, guys, say thank you to Brandon in the comments and follow him on social media. What is your how can we find you, Brandon? It's in the description, but how can we find you, dude?
Yeah, so business, you can find me on social at BKXX Enterprises is the handle for Twitter, Instagram, and then my business Facebook page. You can find me on LinkedIn at /Brandon J Garcia. And if you need to reach out, the phone number is going to be below. You can shoot me a text, and be happy to help you out.
Woo, man! Thank you so much. God bless you and
Yeah.
your family, and thank you for being here, dude.
Thanks, Jose. I appreciate you having me on.
Take care, man. Yes.
All right.
Let's go.
Take care.